How many of us are stuck because we care so much about what other people think of us? How many of us stay where we are because you don't want to rock the boat? You don't want to cause any conflict? You don't want to step out because you're fearing that people will see you and people will judge you? Put up your hand. Me. I'm recovering from the fear of being seen. What happens when you don't put yourself out there? What happens when you stay caged in that fear of being seen? You shrink and you don't fulfill your life purpose. My parents didn't have anything to do with my fear. In fact, I did a lot of things when I was growing. I always wanted to get into leadership. I wanted to be a prefect when I was in primary school. I campaigned to be the head girl of the entire school. I was barely 9, but I wanted to get into leadership. So I grew up with the support of my parents telling me to follow my dreams, to do everything that I needed. But as you keep growing, you get all these influences that come in. People start telling you what to do. You start seeing how other people are behaving, and you also decide to cave in. You decide not to follow your dreams. You decide to stay safe. You decide to just not ruffle any feathers and rock any boat. Many of us experience this, and this fear of not being seen stops us from achieving what we are said to achieve. This fear of not being seen stops us from living to our full potential. In this video, I'm going to share with you practical steps that you can take from today to unshackle yourself from the fear of being seen, to step out into your potential, to follow your career purpose, to follow your life dream, and to fulfill the desire and the purpose that God put you on this planet for. So, the first thing when it comes to overcoming the fear of being seen is to change your mindset. Change your perspective of this fear. How do you do this? I love to journal. I love to journal my thoughts. I journal, why am I scared of being seen? Then I also ask myself the question, what could I do to overcome this fear? I also look at what the fear of not being seen is causing to my life. I look at it in such a sense, I ask myself the question, if I stay where I am without doing anything about this fear, how will my life turn out? I will not fulfill my life purpose. I will not do the things that I'm interested in. I will not take that action to achieve the goals that I've set. For a long time, I wanted to start this YouTube channel. In fact, I've shared so much about my journey of starting my YouTube channel, but that fear of being seen stopped me from taking the action of clicking publish on my first video. I feared people's judgment. I feared what will people say about me. I feared almost everything that it came to starting a YouTube channel, until that day when I had to get over this fear by taking that imperfect action. When I recorded my first video, I just used my iPhone. I actually put it in a in a selfie mode like this, and I was like, hi, my name is Faith, welcome to my YouTube channel. I posted the video, and when I posted it, nothing really changed. I didn't feel any type of way. The world didn't crumble. After I've looked at how the fear of being seen is stopping me from achieving my goals, then ask myself, what if I'm seen? What will happen? Because sometimes we get so much into our brains that we don't think about the effect of our being seen, the effect of our step. One of the things I wrote was, if I'm seen, what will happen? I'll be able to share what God is putting on my heart. I'll be able to impact someone's life. Even if it's one person that I'm impacting, I would have caused something positive in their life. The other thing, I took it to God. I'm like, God, I'm scared. Please give me the courage. And he drew me to the book of 2 Timothy 1:7 that says, for the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear, but he's given us a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. Also, he drew me to the book of Matthew chapter 5 that says, no one lights up a candle and covers a basket on top of it. We are the light of the world. What happens to the light? What is the characteristic of the light? The light illuminates. The light shines. The light shows. You can't tell me that when the light is put on, people won't notice unless you're blind. When the light is put on, everyone is able to see that light. If I am that light, how can I exude that light to the world? How can I share what I've been put on this earth to do? I also ask myself the question, 5 years from now, will this really matter? If I stay where I am right now, will it matter 5 years from now? Yes, it will matter, because I won't have fulfilled my life purpose. So what if people bash me? So what if people give me bad comments? If I stay where I am, will I regret it? And it's from that mindset that I take my action. It's from that mindset that I'm able to tap into that fear. I say, feel the fear, but do it anyway. I have a son. My son is not scared to do anything. I have a daughter. She climbs almost everything. And what I've seen in them is that they are not fearful, but the world we live around stop us from pursuing our goals because we adopt that fear that other people are placing on us. We want to live that fear that people are putting on us. We want to fit into the society. We want to do things because we care so much about how other people will think about us. So the fear of being seen comes down to you recognizing that that fear exists. You acknowledge that that fear is already there. And when it's there, what do? You talk to it, you tell it, fear, you're there, but you're not going to stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do. I'll acknowledge your presence, and I'll also devise tools and techniques to move me past this fear. Do not shame this fear. Acknowledge its presence and know that it's there. Because when you acknowledge it, you understand why you're fearful. You're not keeping it in a cage. You're not saying, go away, let me just do what I'm doing. You acknowledge it's there and use it as fuel to move you in the direction you're supposed to go. You know that saying that says, what you resist persists. When you resist this fear, it's still going to persist. But if you acknowledge it, you will see it as fear and you know that it exists. But you're not going to let it keep you caged. You are going to work on this fear day by day. Number 2 is to understand this fear. By understanding this fear, you're looking at your thoughts, asking yourself the questions, what is causing me to be fearful? Probably you fear the judgment of others. Probably you fear that you're going to fail. You fear that people will not like what you love to communicate. You fear that you'll be bashed when you put yourself out there. Probably you fear rejection in case things don't work out and people reject you. You see, you're trying to understand what is causing you to be fearful. Step 3 is to rephrase this fear. How do you rephrase this fear? Is by changing your attitude towards the fear. You ask yourself questions. What if people like what I'm going to do? What if I end up liking it? What if I discover this is my life purpose? What if I impact someone else's life? You're looking at the possibility of your actions. If you take that action, where will that action lead you? What if someone else needs my word? What if the things I'm going to share are going to be impactful in someone's life? When I started my YouTube channel on my fitness journey, I told myself this. Even if what I share will impact one person, that will be a fulfilled dream in my life. Even if one person decides to implement the techniques and the strategies I'm going to teach in my videos, that will be one person's life better. Step 4 is to start small. Anytime you're faced with fear, do not bite off something too big that you can't chew it. Start small. I knew I wanted to start a YouTube channel from 2015, but fear stopped me from doing this. What I did is I decided to practice communication. When I discovered I had a speech impediment, I decided to tackle it from the root. I decided to get myself a speech coach. I decided to practice recording myself on my phone. I used to get my phone and talk in the voice notes and record voice notes. I decided to start presenting. I decided to start writing. I decided to start doing Instagram lives. If you followed my Instagram since then, you'll know that I used to go on my Instagram. Even if I didn't have so much to talk, I would have an Instagram live for 5 minutes just to practice this, just to practice my speech, just to practice talking to the camera, just to learn how to communicate, to slow down my speech, to be able to articulate myself better, to be able to share my thoughts in small pieces of information. And by that, I built that courage in myself. When I would go back to watch my Instagram lives, I would see how much improvement I would have made. I would see where I needed to improve. By starting small, I created that confidence in myself that if I could start small, that if I could just talk into the camera, 5 years from now, I would be very far. Right now, it's 1 year into my YouTube channel, and I've kept on producing these videos because of that practice. When you decide to start small, you build confidence in yourself. Every milestone that you meet on your starting small is going to give you that confidence to believe in what is possible. Instead of saying that you're going to do a masterclass, decide by just making an Instagram live. Instead of you saying you're going to show up on YouTube and do a live, decide by starting small, by having that Facebook live, by writing your thoughts on your Facebook, by writing your thoughts on your Instagram. That way you are building that confidence in who you are. You're building that confidence in what you can achieve, and before you know it, you'll have that impetus to make that action. The other thing I like to do is to refer to my why. I read the book by Simon Sinek that says everything starts with why. Everything starts with why, because your why is going to be your life purpose. It's going to be that goal that's bigger than life. It's going to be that thing that keeps you going even when things are failing, even when you're not seeing the progress that you need. That why will keep you grounded. My why is beyond myself. It's beyond inspiring my children. It's more of creating the impact that I know I can create in the world. My why is to impact 10,000 women to live to their potential by providing them with tools, techniques, motivation, resources to step into their potential, to live fulfilled lives. And I can only do that by being seen. I can only achieve this by putting myself out there. So if your why is bigger than the fear, you will automatically have to show up. That why will wake you up every day so that you can be able to pursue that goal. That why will keep you going even when you feel you're not going to make it. That why will help you take that imperfect action. So remind yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? What's the reason behind you wanting to be seen? What's the reason behind you putting yourself out there? And if that reason is bigger than that fear, you'll automatically take that action. Number 6 is to flip the script. How do you flip the script? You look at it in such a way that you look at the advantages of you being seen over the disadvantages of you being seen. You say that putting yourself out there is not all about attracting criticism. Putting yourself out there is about you doing what you're supposed to do. It's about you sharing your unique perspective. It's about you adding color to what is already existing in terms of knowledge, opinions, and everything. Putting yourself out there is about you sharing what you know, sharing your life experiences, motivating someone out there. So you're flipping the script, that you're not looking at it as a self-conceited person. You're looking at yourself, putting yourself out there as a person who is going to contribute to what is already existing. This is because many of us are scared to put ourselves out there, because we think when we put ourselves out there, people will think we are self-conceited. People will think we have these big egos that we have to show up. No, it's not about the ego. It's about you putting yourself out there to share what you already know, to share what can help someone else. Someone else out there is looking for the information you have. Someone out there is looking for the knowledge you already have. And if you don't share it, you're doing them a disservice. So putting yourself out there is not out of your own selfish interest. It's about you sharing what you know. It's about you impacting who you want to impact, you know? So putting yourself out there, it's about you flipping that script. You're saying, I'm doing this to help someone else. I'm doing this to put my unique perspective there. I'm doing this to fulfill my life purpose. I'm not doing it out of my own selfish needs. That's how I like to look at it. Number 7 is to focus on feedback. I know when you put yourself out there, there's going to be feedback. Feedback will come out of comments, likes, shares, and pick feedback from people who you know are going to help you move ahead. Many of us get so attached to negative feedback. In fact, when you have a YouTube channel, people will comment, but someone might leave a negative comment, and that comment will put you down because you think, okay, this person has said something bad. But what if we looked at that feedback as just something that can help you move ahead? Focus on the positive feedback that you're receiving to keep going. Focus on that feedback where someone is showing you how to improve, you know? If someone comes and tells you, Faith, we loved your video, but the audio was not good, that is feedback that I can decide to put up, and I'm like, okay, I'll be able to improve the audio next time. Probably I get a lapel mic, or I get a shotgun mic, or I'm able to film closer to the camera. So the feedback you're getting, analyze it and see, is it good feedback? Is it feedback that is moving me ahead, or it's feedback of someone who wants to put you down? When you notice that many people who are doing better than you won't put you down. Many people who are already achieving their goals will keep doing their thing, while people who are behind you, who see you and are envious of what you're achieving, will be the people who will be leaving you the negative feedback. No one who is doing better than you is going to come and tell you you're not doing a good job. In fact, they'll be able to encourage you because you are on the same journey that they're on. So be sure to audit the feedback that you receive, and when you audit that feedback, look at the feedback that is going to move your head, not concentrating on the negative feedback that you're receiving from someone who is envious of what you're already doing. The last thing I want to talk about is when you look at visibility. Visibility is not about you being right. Visibility is about you sharing your unique perspective. Visibility is about you sharing what you already know. When you put yourself out there, you're not attracting people to say, oh yeah, I know it all. You're saying that I'm focusing on making the connections with the people that I want to make the connections with. I'm focusing on creating the impact that I want to create, rather than just looking at it in such a sense that you are self-conceited. If you've watched this video up to this far, please, let's stop it here. Go out and do that thing that you want to do. Go out and follow that dream. Go out and around this fear that you're having. If it's a fear of being seen, I've given you the blueprint. And you'll be so surprised that 1 year from now, if you decide to take action, you will achieve your goals. You will be closer to that impact that you want to get. You'll be sure that 1 year from now, you wouldn't have let the fear of being seen hold you as a captive. You'll have stepped out and done what you're supposed to do with that fear. So face the fear. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. Feel that fear, but still take the action. What are you waiting for? Get out there and tackle that fear. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free for you to subscribe, and thank you so much for everyone who comes back and watches my videos. I appreciate you all, and I love you all. Go out there and tap into your purpose by not letting the fear of being seen stop you from doing what you're called to do. Have yourself a wonderful day, and bye-bye.